Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Krispy Reviews podcast with your host, me, Krispycody. Happy New Music Friday to everybody who's out there listening. We got a new playlist that's out today, Krispy NMF. It's now live. This is the playlist here. We've got 243 songs this week. That's a lot of songs. With new music from King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Flight B741, a new album from Be Bad Do Be. This is How Tomorrow Moves. We also have new singles from artists such as these, like Bright Eyes, A-Track, Katy Perry, Shawn Mendes, The Kid Laroi, Girl, George Clanton. Got a new album from Chloe, Trouble in Paradise. We got some new music from Destroy Boys, Funeral Soundtrack #4, Fontaine's DC, Here's the Thing EP. We also got 4 Year Strong, some new Toro y Moi EP, Ray Kahilla, Logic. We got a new EP from Gable Price and Friends, a new album from Oso Oso, Future Birds, Easy Company. Some new songs from Coin. We got some other new singles and an EP from Molo Chatdoma, Fundabar, and the last album, Yo Gabba Gabba, with lots of amazing features here. So yeah, go ahead and check out the Krispy Reviews playlist. It's Krispy NMF on Spotify. Make sure you hit the save and add this to your playlist and listen to it for the week. And every week it's updated every Friday. Thanks for checking it out. All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to dive into some news segment. We're going to talk a little bit about last weekend's music festivals. We're going to talk about some news that happened this past week. And then we're going to talk about what's coming ahead starting today. Holy cow. It's already Friday, so starting today. So let's go ahead. We'll talk about this first. So we got Lollapalooza from last weekend, one of America's biggest music festivals. We had lots of artists perform, but I would say one of the bigger highlights was Chappell Roan. Chappell Roan really took the stage with her Hot to Go attendance for Lollapalooza in the midday. I believe I read an article somewhere where they said it was like 110,000 people that were there in attendance for this show on a Thursday afternoon at 5 p.m. As you can see, everybody's going crazy for Chappell Roan. So great stuff. She also played a number of other festivals that weekend, such as Oshega, Hinterland, and Capitol Hill Block Party. So she played all those festivals, but this one she had the biggest turnout for Lollapalooza. Some other big highlights, Kesha had a really big performance on that Thursday as well. Everybody was going crazy over her and her new song Joyride. We also had Hozier closing it out with Megan Thee Stallion and Fisher for that Thursday. But everybody was going crazy over Chappell Roan, so definitely deserves it. She's been working really hard in the industry. Other noteworthy acts was Faye Webster. She performed at Lolla. We have Renee Rapp. She performed as well at Lollapalooza. Zed closing it out one of the days on that Friday. And yeah, if you went to any of these festivals this past weekend or any festivals this year, hit up my email address, crispyreviews2020@gmail.com. I would like to hear from you and understand your experiences and talk with you and do like a little interview session and stuff. And maybe we could do a compound video of them. It would be really cool. Also have Tate McRae. She performed as well. Everybody goes crazy over Tate McRae. We have Fortet, one of the awesome EDM gurus. He's like one of the godfathers of EDM. We also had the Killers play. Some more Chappell Roan highlights. Lollapalooza going crazy over that. Skrillex on Saturday, he had his own stage all to himself. He performed early on his own stage. They changed it over to Sunny's. They named it Sunny's stage. That's so cool that they did that. But yeah, EDM is at the highest it's ever been. I think everybody loves Skrillex and what Sunny's been doing. Everybody who was on that stage got a lot of recognition that day. Blink-182 closing it out as well. So yeah, that was Lollapalooza. moving on over to Osheaga in Canada. You have Chappell Roan again taking it by storm. You can see here, I don't think that this is as big of a crowd as what Lollapalooza was, but as you can see, still a big crowd nonetheless. It's crazy. Chappell Roan summer. That's basically what's happening this summer, it seems. We have Noah Kahan, Smashing Pumpkins, Green Day played as well. Just some big highlights that happened over the weekend. Again, if you attended this music festival or another music festival that happened this year, hit up my email address, crispyreviews2020@gmail.com. I'd love to hear your experiences that you had. Two Door Cinema Club played as well. So it looks like it was a really good time. I've never been to Osheaga. I know that they get some crazy bookings and stuff, as you can see. We'll look at this real fast. They share a lot of similar artists between the Lollapalooza, because it's the same weekend. The artists kind of pass through here. But yeah, Noah Kahan, Melanie Martinez, Skepta, Teddy Swims, Green Day, Smashing Pumpkins, Martin Garrix. We got T-Pain, Rancid, Denzel Curry. Here you go, Miss Chappell Roan right there. Brittany Howard. We got SZA, Hoyser, Justice, Jungle. I wonder how Justice was. I bet Justice was really good on that day. Mal P as well. Really cool stuff. They always have such a eccentric lineup. I always like their diversity at Osheaga. All right, moving on. We have Hinterland Music Festival in Iowa. So this one also had Chappell Roan, as you can see from this video. Here she is going off. I'm not playing any of the music due to copyright reasons. I don't want to share any of that and get in any infractions or have a video taken down from it. But yes, check it out on their pages. We got Chappell Roan absolutely crushing it. I don't really have a video of the crowd. Here she is without her makeup and stuff with Noah Kahan. Yep, Noah Kahan checking out Chappell Roan's set, doing the HOTTOGO, Hot to Go song. Everybody's obsessed. Backtracking for a second, I know Blink-182 covered Chappell Roan's song Pink Pony Club at Lollapalooza, and a lot of people were ecstatic over that. They loved it. So shout out Blink-182 for doing that, supporting an artist who's basically blossoming in front of our eyes. Great stuff. Another thing to talk about for Hinterland, they had a lot of struggles this past weekend. A lot of fans were disappointed with how they present, and it's kind of sad to see and hear this, but here we go. Here's like an article here from this website. So there was water, food access concerns prompt Hinterland Music Festival policy to change. So Hinterland addressed this after the first day of the festival. So the attendees said that it was very overcrowded, it was very hot, there wasn't enough water stations, and it just seemed like it was a little bit of a nightmare kind of situation. But it was a star-studded lineup, and this is what you can kind of expect for a growing music festival, to have these types of pains. And it's said that the music festival attendees have to suffer through these types of issues and stuff. So nobody should have to deal with heat-related illnesses and stuff, of course. So remember just to take care of yourself in those moments and make sure that you're hydrating properly, eating, getting shade when you need it, or AC if it's available. And I believe it is. So this was also a camping music festival too. So camping in the heat this time of year is just really rough. So whenever you can get AC or anything like that, make sure you give yourself some time like that. But I'm pretty sure Hinterland's going to bounce back from this next year, and they'll put all these lessons into play for the following year and make sure that they're dotting their I's and crossing their T's and making sure everybody's happy. So moving on, last little festival to talk about here is Capitol Hill Block Party. This festival happened also on the same weekend. I want to talk about this group. They seem to be blowing up as well. Joey Valiant and Beret. I love these guys. They're kind of like a Beastie Boys 21st century kind of knockoff group, but not really. Like they kind of put their own spin on things and have a good time. And they're just really goofy goobers who have like a good time and make some fun music. And their one album that they just released recently is pretty big right now. So check them out, Joey Valiant and Bray. Along with K Tronada, he was also playing at this smaller music festival. As you can see, these small stages. I always like a good small music festival. You know, it's nice to like see bigger names on a smaller stage and just all have a good time and meet everybody who likes that type of vibe. Yeah, as you can see, these goobers, they're in the porta potties having a good time. Those photos, man, that's funny. Let's see. I Remy Wolf. Remy Wolf also played at this music festival. She's blowing up recently as well too, so that's pretty awesome. Who's this doing? Oh, it's like a highlight video. Okay. All there you go. There's the pink hats. So you know Chappell Roan is here. All the fans are ready for her. It looks like it was a really good time. Yo, that guy's just doing a kickflip on stage. That's cool. Oh, this was that music festival where there was that. Here it is. Holy cow. This crowd, man. Huge crowd. Yeah. So honestly, this is really crazy seeing Chappell Roan playing such a smaller fest like this. Is this here? Yeah, there she is. Okay. She just wasn't as dressed up for this one. She was more relaxed, it looks like. Not as big of a stage, but, making her impressions, right? All right, so that concludes our previous weekend of music festivities that took place with Lollapalooza, Osheга, Hinterland, and Capitol Hill Block Party. I want to go into some news that happened over this week, though. So first off, I want to talk about this one. Taylor Swift concert terror plot. Suspects sought to kill self and as many. Okay. So, anyways, Taylor Swift concert terror plot. Suspects sought to kill self and as many people as possible, officials say. So, this is a worst case scenario thing. But thankfully, these officials were able to locate these younger people who confessed to attacking people who were planning to be at this show. And they were able to make the stop before the show was to happen and everything that weekend in Austria. So that is very good news, although it's still terrifying because it's sad to hear that there's people who want to do stuff like this. It's very sad to hear that they are researching to make bombs and, hurt these people and all this stuff, and they're so young, 19, 17, 15, like those are really young ages to be doing this kind of stuff. And yeah, I just think it's sad that, Swifties are now a target, so be careful out there, make sure you're always like looking and being aware of your surroundings in these situations and scenarios. Whenever there's a big draw, it usually attracts all types of people who are excited to be there and others who maybe want to ruin the vibe and stuff. But on another note, we have some other news that happened. Laurel Hill and the Fugees 2024 tour has been canceled. She canceled the tour, I believe it was either earlier this year or last year, and she rescheduled it for this year. And a lot of people were excited, but other people thought that it was definitely not going to happen. And those people were correct. It didn't happen. So they decided to cancel it. And they got all their refunds and everything back to those people. So there is no real reason on the cancellation and stuff. So it's just kind of sad and weird when artist just decides to simply cancel an event. I mean, I'm not entirely sure if there was what the reason was. It says no reason was offered to fans for the cancellation in the refund notices that went out. So it's unfortunate. I hope that whatever it is, Miss Laurel Hill can finally go out and tour and give the people what they want. I know a lot of people are a big fan of her and they want to see good things. So as you can see here, this person they tweeted out saying, "It's so disheartening being a fan of Laurel Hill. Last October, an hour before the show in Dallas, it was canceled with no warning. I tried again this run, even when everyone clowned on me, saying I was foolish for trying to get the tickets and doing this. So canceled again. I love Laurel Hill, man, but damn, yo, do better." Yeah, I mean, it just creates an expectation where people get upset. And, if you're constantly canceling your shows and stuff, people aren't going to buy your tickets and stuff. They're not going to show up and they're not going to believe you're going to be there. So it makes sense. All right. So, next article of news, lots of cancellations, it seems. So, Utah's newer music festival that was scheduled to happen in September, Love Letters Music Festival, was canceled. Organizers don't really explain why. They just kind of say, so anyways, this music festival is supposed to have headliners Joji, Quinn, XCII, and Ashniko. This music festival is brought to you by SNS Presents, who also runs Kilby Block Party. So I went to Kilby Block Party earlier this year. These guys know what they're doing. They definitely know how to throw a good music festival. But it seems like Nick Smith, who's the managing director of SNS Presents, he said that they encountered a few issues that we just weren't able to resolve. Our team has put a lot of effort into this project, and we are very disappointed to be in this position. We are so thankful to everyone who was supportive of this festival and was hoping to see this succeed. So he said also that anybody who bought tickets is going to receive a full refund from the website 24 Tickets. So yeah, it's really sad to see that another music festival trying to get off the ground has failed again. And I know that these guys are definitely going to try and revisit it in some way, somehow. But as of right now, they say that they cannot say yet if Love Letters will be happening in 2025. But they are big fans of all the artists on this lineup and are hoping to bring them to the Salt Lake City area in some capacity in the near future. So I'm imagining they're going to have them play at some of the venues around there, or they may just add them to Kilby Block Party's lineup for next year. So we'll see what happens. It's unfortunate again. I'd like to know more details, but we're probably not going to get to hear those details as to why they decided to cancel the fest. All right, one last thing of information that happened this week. Aerosmith has decided to retire as a band. As you may know or not know, Steven Tyler's voice is an instrument like no other. He has spent months tirelessly working on getting his voice to where it was before his injury. We've seen him struggling despite having the best medical team by his side. Sadly, it is clear that a full recovery from his vocal injury is not possible. We have made a heartbreaking and difficult but necessary decision as a band of brothers to retire from the touring stage. So it seems as though Steven Tyler has met his match. He's lost his voice. I believe last year in October is when he had the vocal injury occur, and they canceled the rest of the tour and they rescheduled it for this fall. And I was looking forward to it. I've always wanted to see Aerosmith. They're one of the bigger bands that are from the 70s, 80s that I liked a lot and wanted to be able to see them at some point. But it seems that they've unfortunately met their match, and Steven Tyler has lost his voice, and they are no longer going to perform as a band. So this is heartbreaking, and it's sad, because it just tells It tells the tale that you have to see the band when you want to see the band type thing, because they're only good in that moment, and you have to catch and seize that moment when you can, to see these bands. So as they age and get older, there's more room for health issues and all different types of things to happen for these artists. And it's just sad, So eventually, time will tell, and it just kind of happens that way. All right, let's check and see time. Okay, we're doing good. All right, so last segment, we're going to talk about music festivals happening this weekend for August 9th through August 11th. We're going to start off with one of the festivals I've always wanted to go to, which is Outside Lands in San Francisco, California, happening this weekend. Again, this music festival takes place in Golden Gate Park, San Francisco, right across the way from the Golden Gate Bridge. It just has stunning views, and there's stages that they have set up. It just looks so gorgeous. I always want to go to this music festival, but someday it will happen. But for this year's lineup, we have the Killers headlining on today, Friday. We have Daniel Caesar playing, Jungle, Griffin, Young the Giant, Renee Rapp, Knock 2, Japanese House, The Last Dinner Party. They seem to be blowing up a lot recently. Snake Hips, Real Estate, Mind Chatter. We got some other smaller artists such as Shabuzi, who's blowing up as well. Yeah, the Lemon Twigs are on here. So a lot of really good undercard artists too. Odile, shout out Odile as well. And Saturday, we have Sabrina Carpenter, who's headlining. I believe this is her first headlining set ever for a music festival this big. So this is really big that she is headlining, especially on a Saturday too. So interesting to see. Again, if you're attending this music festival or have attended other music festivals and you'd like to share your experiences and stories, hit up my email address, crispyreviews2020@gmail.com, and share your info with me. I would love to interview you and be able to understand what happened at those music festivals and stuff. But again, Sabrina Carpenter is headlining Saturday, August 10th with the Postal Service. Amazing. Grace Jones. She's an amazing 70s artist as well. Chris Lake, Schoolboy Q, Fletcher, Channel Trace, Men I Trust, Emil and the Sniffers. Shout out Emil and the Sniffers. They used to be on the same record label as King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Flightless Records. So awesome Aussie punk rock band. Definitely catch them, and their energy is through the roof. We got Rami from the XX. We got Starfucker. We got K Flay, Alan Stone. This house artist here, TSHA. Amazing stuff from her. We got some other smaller artists that are definitely worthy of checking out as well too. And to wrap it up with Sunday, we got Sergil Simpson headlining. I believe this is his first headlining set in 3 years or something like that. So you're definitely not going to want to miss that. He's an amazing country musician. We got Kate Renata, Teddy Swims. We got Chappell Roan continuing her reigning regime across America. Pink Pony Club. Everybody's going to be wearing their pink cowboy hats and stuff. So got to take it hot to go. Slow Dive is going to be their shoegaze band. We got Killer Mike, TV Girl, and Bad Bad Not Good off the heels of their latest record, Mid Spiral. Super good stuff. Roosevelt's going to be there too. Wisp has been blowing up lately in the underground kind of community and stuff. People like their stuff a lot. Sema Funk, a lot of really good stuff. And then lastly, we got Post Malone doing a special country set. I'm assuming he's going to be playing mainly his new album and stuff, which is all 100% country based. And country is a good look on Post Malone. It really matches and complements his voice. So I think it's really good what Post Malone's doing right now with his change in genres and stuff. But yes, Outside Lands happening starting today with the Killers. Be on your eyes and ears. Check out their socials. And if you're there, hit me up with Krispy Reviews podcast. Okay. Moving on. We got Thing Festival starting today as well. This is in Washington State. It's going to be at Remlinger Farms. And we got St. Vincent, Toro y Moi, Black Pumas, Spoon, Killer Mike, Ethel Kane, Earl Sweatshirt, Shaky Graves, Unknown Mortal Orchestra, Arlo Parks, Blind Pilot, Vacations, Military Gun. So many really good bands that's on this playlist. If I was attending a music festival this weekend, it would be probably this one or Outside Lands. But this one just has my music taste a little bit more. And I like a smaller music festival. It's a lot more fun to like get around and just enjoy the offerings and such. So again, Thing Festival starting this weekend. If you're attending this music festival, hit up the podcast, crispyreviews2020 at gmail.com, or you can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and other socials as well. All right, last music festival to talk about here is in Pennsylvania. We have Elements Music and Arts Festival happening. It started yesterday with this lineup here, some, icebreaker artists. And then today is the meat and potatoes with Illenium, Cascade, Green Velvet, Liquid Strangers, Boogie T, Blondish, and we got Disco Lines and a handful of other artists that are down below that are blowing up too. Solvin King, Keizo. And then Saturday we got Excision, Slander, Closey, LS Dream. We got Barclay Crenshaw, Dr. Fresh, Troy Boy, and Recno. A few other awesome, really great EDM acts as well. And then Sunday closing it out with Chris Lake, Clune, Subtronics, the Disco Biscuits, G Jones, Casablanca, and a handful of other awesome artists down here too. So again, this music festival is EDM eccentric. I believe it's a camping festival too. And if you're attending this one and you'd like to share your experiences at Elements, don't be afraid to hit up my socials or my email address, crispyreviews2020 at gmail.com. And I think that's going to be it for the podcast today. So yeah, thanks again for supporting Krispy Reviews podcast. We have the new music playlist out today for New Music Friday. It's called Crispy NMF on Spotify. So go hit the follow on that, share it with your friends, enjoy what you like, and comment what you like on the playlist as well too for our Instagram or on Threads or TikTok. We're everywhere. Check it out. And thank you for following us and supporting the channel. And we'll be seeing from you guys really soon, okay? All right. Take care. Have a blessed weekend. Have fun.